Hey, welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about the multiplayer combat editor. In this video we're going to view how to use the regeneration feature which is built in the stat manager. So we're going to add to our content browser. So we're going to go to our third person character, then we're going to add up to our initializations of the stat manager, and we're going to add a new stat which is going to be mana, for instance. And then we are also going to add another stat, which is going to be health regeneration. And we're going to give these stats a certain value. We are also going to add another stat, which is mana regeneration. And then we are going to say that we want to add a regeneration. And the stat manager is asking for what stat it should regenerate, our health, and what stat should be regenerating the stat we specified here. So what stat should be regenerating our health regeneration. But you could be saying anything. For instance, you could be saying that the amount of ammo you have in your weapon clip is going to regenerate your health. Well, actually you wouldn't be able to say this because your character is not likely to have a certain amount of ammo in clip because it doesn't have that stat. If that stat is likely to be carried by the stat manager of the weapon used by your character, but not your character itself. So maybe you will have a level, maybe your character will have a level stat, and in that case you could be saying that you regenerate your health depending on the level you have. But in our case, we know we created a health generation stat and a mana regeneration stat, and we want to use them both to regenerate stats and health and mana depending on these regeneration, depending on these stats. By just doing this, you make sure makes sure the generation are going to, these stats are going to be regenerated by these. And then we want to add a new nameplate, which is going to be tied to our mana, and it's going to be yellow, for instance, or white, or it's mana is usually blue, but we're going to make it yellow, and we're going to call our mana stamina. It's the same thing basically. So we can say this, and if we are hitting play, if we change our team and if we hit the other player, we can see it is regenerating its health over time. And the rate at which it's regenerating depends on a metric located in your stat manager. So if you click on your stat manager, on the right side you have a regeneration rate, and you can specify 2 for instance, and it's going to regenerate all the stats. It's going to tick the stat regeneration every 2 seconds, like this. And then we can see if you have a skill up, if you already created a skill, we will add a mana cost to that skill. And if you did not create that skill, you can go to the skill playlist and see how you can create your skill. And if you did created it, we are going to add a mana cost to that skill just so we can see if our mana regeneration is working. So we want that skill to cost mana to our character. So we want to make that array, make that cost. And we want that skill to cost, I don't know, 8 mana for instance. We want to hit compile, hit save, hit play. but we did not consume the mana. We have to say that the skill should be consuming the mana cost. So we're going to specify that in our trigger start effect. We're going to call the function called consume cost. We're going to hit compile, hit play. And then when we use our skill, it's costing us a bit of stamina. Like this. And you can also toggle the generation on and off by using these functions. So I'm back in our third-person character blueprint. You can toggle a specific stat regeneration. You can say else should not regenerate now, and you can say all should be enabled or not by just calling these. And you should be calling these on all machines if you want everyone to see the regeneration going well, even if the stats are being replicated. So that's how you can use the regeneration feature. Hope you guys enjoyed that video and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.